Good morning, everyone. It's December 30th, 2 days before the new year. I'm Colette, the Highway Stitcher, here to give you my stitching from the highway and at home. And I'm home now for the holidays. And it's pretty cold. Our temps are, right now it's 31 degrees, 0 degrees Celsius, and 37 for the high, if we get there. And that'll be 2 degrees Celsius. We've had it real cold, but we haven't gotten a lot of snow on the ground where we are. I know there's been tons more snow in California, in the mountains, and in Nevada, different areas, a lot of rain. But we have not gotten, in the valleys of Utah where I live, we have not gotten a whole lot of snow, just trace amounts of snow. Only one storm did we get, I would say about 2 inches. But we have gotten a lot of snow in the mountains, and that's really good. I'm glad that we did, because that'll help our water situation. And I know all these rains and snows will also help the situation in the west too. I feel sorry for my friends in the northwest where we have a house. We left there shortly before the first storm hit and came home, and they're getting pummeled with snow. And that's hard for them because they're not set up and equipped like we are. We know we have snow, so we have tons of snow plows out all the time, you know, all prepared for snow, and they don't get a lot of snow up there, so they were not, they're not as prepared, and so they've had a lot of snow hit them too, which has been hard. Anyway, I'm glad to see you here on my last video for the 2021 year. I don't have a whole lot to show you. No lace today. I didn't get my lace worked on. I did get a finish. It's actually an FFO, but it's not stitching. And I got a few other, I got like a finish on a challenge, and then a couple other stitching things done. And then I'm going to tell you about my plans too for 2022. And I'm still not fully organized for them. I'm still trying to get floss and linen and everything, but I do have set down what I'm going to actually do in 2022. So anyway, let's get on with it. My FFO that's not stitching related happened like the day before Christmas, and I had this Wool Appliqué pattern that I had cut out and ironed on the pieces, but hadn't ever completed it, stitched it and finished it into a pillow, which this is what it was supposed to be. So I got excited, Christmas, but I got excited for something a little different. So I decided to work on my Wool Appliqué Noel. So I got the rest of the embroidery done on it, and then sewed it, stuffed it, finished it off, and put the button. So anyway, that's my Wool Appliqué finish for Merry Christmas to those who celebrate, and Noel to all. So I think it turned out pretty nice. So back of it's kind of a plaid. It was a kit that I bought locally at Pine Needles in Utah. So that's my FFO, which took up time for stitching, but I was having so much fun doing it. I like embroidery, and I just told myself, hey, you can go off and do other things sometimes. Don't feel like you have to, even for your floss tubes, don't feel like you have to stick just with stitching. So that's what I did. Okay, let's see. Lace maker. I posted this on my Instagram and also on the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group, because that was where my challenge was. But those who don't follow either one of those, I finished up my 21,000 stitches in 2021 with the lace maker. And I started this pattern fully new. So when I posted that I was going to do the challenge last January 1st, there was this picture, a lot less rumpled up, and a piece of fabric with nothing stitched on it yet. Well, on Wednesday, no wait, no, it wasn't Wednesday, it was Tuesday. I finished all 21,000 stitches, 29%. of the lace maker. I think it's actually 29.3%. It would have been cool if the 21,000 stitches got me to 30%, but I'm pretty happy. That's pretty close to 30%. And let's see, what else do I want to tell you about this? Like I said, it was totally nothing stitched on it. As you can see up at the top corner where I started, it's mostly just white stitches, very pale blue, very pale cream. Oh my goodness, that was so boring. And I think the reason why I picked up this challenge is I tend to be committed to challenges, and I thought, I am never going to do this piece, even though I love the lace maker in this, because I can't stand all that white. For some reason, in full coverage, I have no problem stitching black, and even whole big sections of black or dark blue doesn't bother me like white. White really bores the heck out of me. So anyway, I got all of that white done. So now I think there's only like 500 stitches left of white, or 400 stitches out of thousands of stitches. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad I don't have much more white to do. What I did last week is I moved my Q-snaps over to this side because I had been working, of course, on the roof a lot, and I was getting kind of burned out, and I thought, no, I've got to finish this. So I moved over here, and I took up working on the trees. So I filled in all of this area here, which had a lot of open area in it that wasn't finished, and then I worked my way down here, around here, more of this bluish purple, started this smokestack, which I'll show you on the picture. That's why it looks so stark and etched in like a square. Filled in this, and also some more over here. So, and stopped at exactly 21,000 stitches, because this will be my 22,000 stitches in 2022, and it would be easier for me to put my stitches down for what I accomplished, and then at the end to be able to know, because it'll be 43,000 stitches, which will be easier than stopping in like 21,000 like 209 or something like that. So that's why I did that. I did actually stop at 21. That little part I was showing you is the smokestack. I was all shocked out. I didn't realize I had gotten that low. If you look right there, there is another, I mean, not smokestack, I guess it's another little chimney for another part of the house, which I started. So anyway, this is being stitched on 25 count even weave. I'm stitching one floss thread over one linen thread full cross. That's mostly the way I do my full coverage. And I'm gridding it myself. It's not pre-gridded. So this will continue on. And by the time I get to, oh golly, by the time I get to the 43,000 stitches, I'll be more than half done, because I did not mention I have 70,000, or maybe it's 72. Anyway, it's either 70 or 72,000 stitches in that total. So if I get to 43, then I'm more than halfway done. So exciting. Okay, another project that I, of course, worked on that I keep up on is Temperature Typography by Stitching Mommy. This was a fun stitch. I only have one letter left, the letter R, which I will fill in probably January 1st, so on Sunday. Here it is, looking all pretty. I finished the B and the E, and lots of cold weather, as you can see. Usually, generally, my darks, my purples are the coldest, in the low 30s, high 20s. The dark blues are the next, in like the mid 30s, and then those bright blues kind of go up into the maybe low, like high 30s, maybe low 40s. So we've been having a lot of cold weather. Not a lot of precip down here, but a lot of cold weather. And this is being stitched on a 32 count Be Stitch Me fabric from my fabric of the month, and it's called Peanut. It's a Lugana, and these colors are mostly the called for the varied 4-degree temperature range. There was a few changes that I did, but not much. Then the only other thing that I worked on, and any of you that watched my last week video, you made comments about this, so I want to let you know I found it. I found my December Lizzie Kate Flip It. Hooray, because this was the only other end of the year challenge that I wanted to finish up, and I was kind of sad and bummed out. And I was over a friend's house, a good friend, and I was telling her, I said, I hope I can find it, because I'm giving her all of my Flip-Its as I finish them, and she's been doing them too. And so I wanted to give her the last of my Flip-Its, and I couldn't find it. Guess where I found this stupid thing? In my purse. Now, I don't have any reason why I would have had it in my purse, because I had no reason to go to the store, any store, needlework or otherwise, Michael's or Joann's, to pick floss, because I always sub out floss with this. Either that or I have the called for. So I'm not really sure why it ended up in my purse. Who knows? But I found it just yesterday. So anyway, this is not off the Q-snaps, excuse that, but I did get a little start on it. So anyway, put my hand over it so you can see it a little better. It's on 28 count vintage country mocha, Kim. Looking nice. This is my last one. I had showed you last week the other ones. And so this one is started now with the actual little stamp card around the edge. If anybody's interested in all of my substitutions, I'd be happy to tell you, but I'd rather just do that by email. So I'll have my email below if you want to email me. So that's a start on that. This is about 1,500 stitches usually, so I'll get it done tomorrow. By tomorrow, I know. I'll just get hustling on it after I upload this video. Anyway, that is just the only stitching I did this time. So I'm going to move on to 2022 plans. I had a hard time with planning this year. I was just so focused on finishing up the lace maker that I just didn't want to do any planning until after it was finished, and I realized that was not going to work because I needed to get some of this stuff planned. I needed to start working on my floss and things for challenges for the new year, for new starts. Now, I don't have everything picked as far as fabric and floss yet. I'm going to be hustling to do that, but I do have my plans set in place now, so I'll be able to tell you that. Boy, I guess the clouds covering over here now because it's all dark in here. It doesn't look dark with the floss tube itself, but it looks dark to me. Okay, the first challenge, okay, let's see here. Okay, yes. I'm trying to do this in order so I don't have to stop this video, since I did go to any of you who know the issues I've been having with my with videoing and some IT issues. I ended up going to the Apple store, and we're trying a few more things, another purge, a few more other things, and we'll see if that works. So today is kind of hit and miss. I may have the pictures and music at the beginning and the end. I might not. If I don't, I'll probably, I know for sure that'll be it. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm going to upload my new app and learn, which I hate to do, learn a new editing program. So anyway, so there might be it on the front, there might not. If there is, hallelujah, because it's working again. Okay, one of my 2022 pieces is a sal with a Zoom group that I meet with every Monday night. We decided to do a sal, and they wanted to do a temperature sal. They had watched me do my temperature sals that I've been doing over the years. So I had a hard time with this. All the way up to the last minute, I kept going back and forth between this and the butterflies. And then a thought hit me that our group tends to be a group that loves to do BBDs, prims, samplers, things like that. And because of that, I thought, I'm going to do this a little different, and I'm not going to do the butterflies because I prefer butterflies in bright colors. And so I said, no, that won't work. So Sharon, one of our group members, had a link to this, and it's a bookcase temperature sal. So the first row is like January, then February, March, so it goes down into December. This is not colored. I did a saving mode, printing color save mode. But I'm going to do this, I think, in different prim colors. And so that's what I'm trying to get done, hustle and get done, so that I can have something to show next week. And hopefully I will. So anyway, that's my plan. If any of you are interested, I can give you the link to this. If you are interested in doing a temp stitch along. So anyway, it'll be prims of purples, maybe more prims of like prim blues, prim greens, prim pinks, yellows, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, and I've got to get them pulled out. And I don't really want to do like overdyes, not only because it's more expensive, but also because I know that there's colors that I can use just DMC wise and they'll work just fine. But I think I would prefer to, even though I have them all on bobbins, I have bobbinated my whole DMC thing, I'm looking at them and I can't really see them good, and I can see them almost better when they're actually out as a skein. So I think I'm going to go to Michael's. My Michael's has a lot of, I mean, they have almost all of them. I think I'm going to go to Michael's and then just start pulling, because I know about how many I need for a temp thing, and so I'll at least pull the cold ones so I can get started. So anyway, that's a piece for sure, piece for 2022, and a challenge I'll be doing. Okay, I'm also doing challenges again in Full Coverage Fanatics, the Facebook group. You can go join that. It is an open Facebook group that you can join anytime. This is just something that I just copied off of my printer, just to remind me. Maybe I would just circle it as I got each 1,000 for the 22 and 22,000 for Lace Maker. I figured, well, I could write down the project, the start, the finish. So of course, 22 and 22 is a for sure. I'm not going to do any other counted challenges in that. In fact, you know, my challenges for the year are pretty much like last year, because I can't undertake anything more than that or I won't get it done. And I'm a person who wants to get challenges completed. And I know how much I can handle. But I'm also going to participate in the monthly challenge through Full Coverage Fanatics, which is the 2022 Eras event. So if you want to go and take a look at it, that's kind of interesting. So this is a non-counting event. So I can do however much I want on the project that I pick. And so the first month is prehistoric. See, they have like ancient Greece and Rome, Middle Ages, Renaissance, you know, like World War I, the Space Age, whatever. So some of their ideas were like oldest chart, oldest project, or a dinosaur chart or whatever. I'm going to work on my oldest chart, which I will show you in my actual plans that I are working on this week. So that's a non-counting challenge that I'm going to be doing with Full Coverage Fanatics, the Facebook group. Okay, another Facebook group that I belong to is called Stitch Talk. It's Portia Parker's Facebook group. And I do their Hay challenges, usually one a year. I opted to do a counting one, but I do have the whole year to do it, and we'll just see how I work on it. Because I love this. It's actually a capital cities challenge for the United States. So, and it is not in order. Here we go. So it starts out, and it's the mileage between each one of the capital cities. So as you can see, some of them have more mileage than the others. And so my goal, actually, you know, it'd be nice to finish this all with the thousands of stitches it has. Some have more than others. Some have only like 100. Some have like 800, 900. Some have 1,000, more than 1,000. I'd love to get to like the states that I live in and that I visit. So we'll see how I do. I for sure probably would get to California because it was an early state. But I'm going to give this a go as one of my counting challenges, and that's through Stitch Talk. If you look it up on Facebook, it's a Facebook challenge group. I was thinking of doing the 100 Days of Hay, but I have to make sure that I stitch 15 minutes a day, and I know with my traveling I'm doing this year and stuff, that will be hard to keep up with. So I opted not to do that one. Okay, my third challenge that I'll be doing is still keeping up with my Daily 30 cross-stitch journal, the new yearly challenge. The Daily 30 group is a closed group. They do have, they do open up a few times a year, but it's closed right now. But will still mention it because if you get an invite to it, then you can participate. Or if you're already part of it, then you're gonna go, yeah, I'm doing that one too. So anyway, this is the Animal Adventure Yearly Challenge that some of you are participating in. Probably it's the easiest way to explain it is you're going to be finding 8 groups of animals every month, and they will post the animals. You have 5 means of transportation to get to these animals, but you can choose any transportation that you want. Like if you want to just walk to the animal, you only have to stitch 100 stitches. If you want to fly, then you have to stitch 500 or 5 hours, 1 or 1 hour, 100, 1 hour. So you can choose each animal, how many stitches you want to do with it. And then the third thing to remember about it is, in this case, we had 3 projects that we had to pick ahead of time and post. And they, in my case, they were the same 3 out of the 4 that I had done last year for the other challenge, the zombie run. And when you finish those, then you can put another piece in. But I decided I wanted to finish those because they were challenges that I had undertaken, and they will get finished, I know. So I'm putting them into the Animal Adventure. So let me see if there's anything else that I have to say about that. But pretty much it's just your means of transportation, so how many stitches you'll be doing. You have to only work on the 3 that you picked ahead of time. And you have 8 animals that you do during the month to get finished. So, okay, and then the final challenge that I'm doing that I do every year is, oops, I think it's behind here. Excuse me. It is my Whip Go, which of course is the stitching bingo that Jessie Marie does on Facebook. And this year, mine's called, I just made this up wrote it out by hand because, like I said, I'm in a hurry trying to get some of this stuff started. So my Whip Go this year is called my Sampler Whip Go year. So what I'm doing is I am working on samplers that I haven't finished. I'm not expecting a finish on them. It'd be nice if I did, but what I want to do is make sure I get work done on them. Some of them are past Stitch Mania pieces. Some of them are just other pieces that I started and never got much stitches on them. So it would be nice to show some progress on these samplers. And last year I didn't do much sampler work. I was doing mostly full coverage and my zombie run pieces, which were not samplers except for Harriet Elizabeth Coe. So I just wanted to do that. So anyway, that's mine. The numbers that were called for this coming month in January ended up being 2 the same because I only picked out certain samplers that I want to get a lot of work done on. So they are they're re-put down here, meaning that I've got, let's see, I've got 8 of them. And so I have them in here like 3 times. And funny enough, they picked Panoply of Posies for number 2. They picked number 2 and number 19, which are both Panoply of Posies, which I'm happy about. And I will show you that because I'll be starting that up next week when I show you my immediate plans for the week. So those are my challenges for this year. Okay, I'm going to move on to new starts. I'm going to do 2 new starts on New Year's Day. There'll be others that I'll be pulling in later. Either I don't have the piece yet, or I want to start them a little bit later because these are prominent pieces that as new starts for 2022, they have a finite finishing time. They are presents and have to get finished in time for me to frame them and then take them to their various destinations. One of them is going to be a baby stitch. It's by Gabrielle Rose. It's got by Lottie Da, called Gabrielle Rose. But of course, I'll be putting down the name of the baby, which will be different when it comes. My niece, my sister's daughter, is expecting. She's due the first part of March. So this will be a present to her after the baby's born, because I will stitch everything up until the baby's born, and then I'll be able to put in the date and the name. But that will be a start, so I can get hustling on it, since her due date is the first part of March. So that's a first start. And I also have my sister's son and soon-to-be daughter-in-law, fiance, are getting married April 1st, on April Fool's Day. So I am doing another one of these Beyond Words, which is one of the, I did one of these for my daughters and one for other friends. And so, of course, I'm going to do this for Dustin and Himna, his fiance. So I barely got the colors that both of them like for the baby and for their color choices. I finally pinned them down. So now I've got to go wrestling through things in the next day or so and find my colors. Anyway, this one's a fun one. Their name will be interspersed on the top, and then the established families are forever, and then established 2004. So I thought that was pretty cool. So that will be my other new start. Okay. So now, I didn't think this was going to take so long. I thought it'd be done before 30 minutes, but I'm pushing it. Okay. Plans. As you know, I'm going to be finishing up in the next day or two. No, next day max. Today and tomorrow, I will finish up Lizzie Kate, the December flip it, and be done with Lizzie Kate's. When I forgot to show you, when I get done with them, I will be putting them on a block of wood that I finish the right size. This isn't the right size. It will have to be a bigger one, and probably more of a stand-up like this. But anyway, these are stand-up blocks. This is something I made last year that I showed. And all I'm going to do is magnet it on the front and back. And then that way I can switch out every month of the Lizzie Kate. So the main thing is finishing them. I'm going to finish them with a background and then probably some rickrack and then the actual piece. So it'll take a little while to do that. But that's my plan. So anyway, Lizzie Kate will be finished. On New Year's Day, I'm going to start the baby and wedding samplers and work on them. I'll also be working on Lace Maker off and on, but probably not until near the end of the week, if at all, because I am a little burned out, so I may not start up again until after next Floss Tube. But I may start, so I'm just letting you know that I might. I'm next going to, I think I'm going to pull this one out. This is the Eras stitching, and get a little stitching on it, even just a few threads. It doesn't matter. It's a non-counting the stitching eras for full coverage fanatics. So this is my oldest full coverage whip. And any of you remember this? This is Ariadne. And it was my very first one that I ever did. And I have maybe two pages done, because this is not out of the Q snaps, of course. And then I did it for a couple other challenges when I started working with Pattern Keeper. I was able to get off of my paper chart and get onto Pattern Keeper. That's why it's kind of looks weird. It looks straight here, but then it looks like I'm veering off into cross country, which I was, because I can do that now with Pattern Keeper. So I'm going to pick this up and see how, do a few strands on it for the stitching eras. So that's one plan this week. I'm also working on and finishing, this is for sure this week, my next section on my home in the garden. This is a sale that I'm doing with a bunch of Utah friends, as well as some friends out of state. And we fell in love with this. Brenda, Handwork Maniac, and Kim Store and myself were at StitchCon, and we fell in love with the finished piece of this. Liz Matthews, Hello by Liz Matthews, had her pieces there, and I had them finished. Beautiful piece. So we are doing it in sections. When Brenda shows her, you can see the sections, and she always says, sorry, you can see the sections. Mine, you can't see the sections, but the one that we need to work on for this month is like from here over to there. So it's finishing up that end. So I'm going to do that. It usually takes me a couple days. I'm not or sometimes it'll take me a day, but usually I have to go into the next day. So I'm going to try to get that done this week, because we are going from our sale goes from the 15th of the month to the 15th, and the hashtag is garden stitching. So, and this is what I had completed already. So as you can see, I'll be finishing up the other side, the corner. And this is being stitched with all Gloriana silks, all the called for. And I'm stitching it on her called for fabric also, 32 count. Not another sampler. Not Another Sampler. That's the name of the fabric by Bee Stitch Me. That's an interesting name, huh? Not Another Sampler fabric. So that's a for sure working on this week and finishing up. Okay, Whip Go. I am going to try to get a little bit working on Whip Go. So here's my sampler. It's a Quaker sampler that got chosen for both numbers for Whip Go. Panoply of Posies. I started this. This is also a Stitch Mania, so I'll be happy to be working on this for Whip Go, and I might end up putting it into my Animal Adventures too when I finish other ones, so I can get more of it finished. This one is interesting. I'm not doing it like the picture looks kind of not the greatest, but I decided to do this with just 4 shades of colors because I am doing it for the lineage group I belong to, which is DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. So I'm using prim shades of like red, white, and blue. And this is how much I've gotten done on it. So it's the upper left-hand corner. So what I do is I just choose myself what colors that I want to put in there, or vice versa for the singles for the back stitch. And the reason why I'm doing a DAR first popped up was because if you look at the middle of that, with the letters, there's D and A and R, and they're really big. And I don't really know why they have it that way, but I thought I'm going to pull that and use that. And so I'll make a DAR Quaker sampler. So when I get through here, I'm going to start designing some different new things. I'm going to probably put my, my chapters that I belong to in California and in Utah, their names and things like that. So that'll be fun. Or maybe like victory, freedom, you know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, but I will do that. Oh, the colors for it, if you're interested, I'm just using 4. I'm using Bamboo. Classic. They're all Classic Colorworks. No, wait, they aren't all Classic Colorworks. Let's see. 2 Classic Colorworks, 2 Guest. I'm using Bamboo in Classic Colorworks for the white. Classic Colorworks, Blacksmith Blue, a darker blue. Oh my goodness, I didn't pull it out. I also have a lighter blue. I think it's called Denim. I think it's called Dungarees. I thought I pulled it out, but it doesn't look like I did. Yeah, the lighter color in it is Dungarees. And the reds are Cherry Bark by Guest and Cranberry by Guest. So I'll show you here. It is Dungarees. I'm not sure whether that's Classic Colorworks or Guest, but if you look, the lighter color is right here. So you can see how some of those are lighter right here and right there. So while the Blacksmith Blue is really dark. So that's that. We'll be working on that this week. Also, I got kicked in the butt by a friend who's still working on Santa Stops here. She says we need to finish this because it was a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. So I'm going to work on this off and on. I do love it. It's been so much fun to stitch on. This was a exclusive from our retreat in the Midwest. And I do want to get it done. So even though it's not Christmas anymore, I'm going to work on it. So anyway, there it is, part of the house, as you can see. So, I don't know. I'm getting a little bored with the house, but I think I'm going to try to finish up some more of it. Because I know once I do, I'll just be happy to go zooming around on the snowman and the border and everything else, because then it'll be fun. Because houses sometimes, like, I go, bleh. So anyway, I'm going to work on the house more. So those are my plans for this coming week. See how I do. So anyway, I'm going to end this. Forgot to pull out my quotes. So I will pull that out now. Just drop it open. this time. And let's see. I've got here, shows 2 butterflies, and it says, when I count my blessings, I count you twice. So that's like friendship. So remember how good it is to have close friends, because our blessings are wonderful, but sometimes we want to count our friends as blessings two times, 3 times, 4 times, because they're so special in our life. So that would be what I would leave for you this week. Count your blessings, especially those good friends of yours. Anyway, love you guys a lot, and I'll see you next week, hopefully at the same time. And you take care and have a nice New Year's Day, and a lot of stitching, hopefully. So anyway, a lot of new starts. So take care, everybody. Goodbye.